The silent emergency. After 60, it could happen to you. It's a quiet Sunday morning, you're enjoying your coffee. The sun peeks through the blinds, birds chirp outside. You're alone at home, just like you've been on dozens of other mornings. But something feels different today. A strange pressure builds in your chest. A dull pain creeps down your left arm. A wave of cold sweat rushes over you. You try to stand up but feel dizzy. You clutch the table, trying to breathe deeply. No one is around, your phone is just a few feet away, but you're not sure you can reach it. This moment, this exact moment, is when life can change forever. Every year, hundreds of thousands of seniors across the world suffer a heart attack while they're alone. It doesn't always start with dramatic chest clutching like in the movies. Sometimes it begins quietly: fatigue, nausea, jaw discomfort, shortness of breath. The danger? Most people ignore these symptoms or wait too long to respond. And time is not your friend during a heart attack. But what if you knew exactly what to do, right in that critical moment? What if you had a set of proven, easy-to-remember actions that could buy you enough time to survive until help arrives? That's what we're talking about today. Not myths, not vague health advice, but real life-saving tips tailored for people over 60, especially those who live or spend long hours alone. In this video, you'll learn 7 powerful actions you can take during a heart attack when no one is around. These steps are based on expert advice from cardiologists, real case studies, and emergency response professionals. Each one could mean the difference between life and death. Let's get into it, starting with what many doctors consider the most misunderstood symptom of a heart attack in older adults. Tip 1. Know the first silent signs before it's too late. Most people associate heart attacks with sudden, crushing chest pain. But for seniors, the signs are often far less obvious, and far more dangerous. That's because the nerves in older adults may not register pain the same way they did when you were younger. Here's what that means. By the time you feel pain, your body may already be in distress. So what should you watch for? The early warning signs can appear hours or even days before the full heart attack hits. And recognizing these symptoms early gives you the best chance of survival. Here are the most common early signs of a heart attack in seniors. Unusual fatigue. Not just, "I didn't sleep well," tired. We're talking about sudden, unexplained exhaustion from small tasks, like getting dressed or walking to the kitchen. Shortness of breath, especially when you're not exerting yourself. If you're sitting or lying down and suddenly feel like you can't catch your breath, take it seriously. Jaw, neck, or upper back pain. This is especially common in women and older adults. If the pain comes on suddenly and doesn't go away with rest or massage, consider it a red flag. Nausea, cold sweats, or lightheadedness. These may seem like signs of indigestion, but in many seniors, this is how a heart attack begins. Mild chest discomfort. It may not feel like pain, it might feel like pressure, fullness, tightness, or even burning. If you experience any combination of these symptoms, and they don't go away within a few minutes, you must act immediately. The worst mistake you can make: waiting. Thinking, maybe it's just something I ate. Thinking, I'll wait and see if it gets better. Every minute you wait, your heart muscle is being damaged. So what should you do if you suspect you're having a heart attack and you're completely alone? That brings us to the second and most actionable tip. Tip 2. Call emergency services immediately, even if you're not sure. The first thing, the absolute first thing, you must do when you suspect a heart attack is happening: call emergency services. In the United States, that's 911. In the United Kingdom, it's 999. In India, 112. Even if you're not completely sure it's a heart attack, call. Paramedics would rather arrive and find out you're okay than arrive too late to help. But here's the key: you must call before you get too weak. Many seniors make the mistake of waiting until the pain or discomfort becomes unbearable. By then, their strength and coordination are often too impaired to dial a number, unlock the phone, or even speak clearly. So the moment you suspect something is wrong, chest pressure, shortness of breath, dizziness, or nausea, reach for your phone. Here's a tip that could save your life. Set up voice dialing on your smartphone. On most devices, you can simply say, "Call 911" or "emergency," and it will dial immediately. This is a must-have feature for anyone over 60 who spends time alone. Also, keep a landline phone in your most used rooms: kitchen, bedroom, living room. Cell phones may be out of reach or out of battery during an emergency. A landline doesn't rely on signal or charging. If you have a smart speaker like Alexa or Google Home, set it up to call emergency services. This is particularly helpful if you can't physically reach a phone. You'd be surprised how many seniors dial a family member or friend first, and lose precious time. Always call emergency services first, then, if you can, notify a loved one afterward. Now what happens after you've called 911 but still feel pain or tightness? You're still alone, and help may be several minutes away? This is where your actions in the next few minutes matter most. What to do right after calling 911. Keeping your heart beating. You've called 911. The ambulance is on its way, but what you do in the next 5 to 10 minutes can heavily influence your survival. You might feel scared. That's normal, your chest still hurts. Breathing is harder, you may feel faint, but you must stay as calm and focused as possible. This is where tip 3 comes in. Tip 3. Take an aspirin, the heart saver, in your kitchen. This one pill could literally save your life. If you have been advised by your doctor that it's safe to take aspirin, and you suspect you're having a heart attack, chew a 325 milligram aspirin immediately. Not swallow. Chew. Why chewing? Because it allows the medication to enter your bloodstream faster, within 1 to 5 minutes. Aspirin works by thinning your blood, which can help dissolve the clot that is blocking blood flow to your heart. Time is everything. The faster the clot is addressed, the more heart muscle is saved. You don't need a prescription for aspirin. It's available over the counter. But here's the key. Have it accessible. Don't keep it in a drawer across the house. Put a small bottle of aspirin in a place you can reach from your bed, your kitchen table, and your favorite chair. Some people even carry a few tablets in a keychain-sized pill holder. But please note, don't take aspirin if you're allergic, if you have certain stomach ulcers, or if your doctor has told you not to take it due to other medical conditions. Always ask your doctor during a routine checkup, should I take aspirin during a heart attack? And follow their advice. Now that you've taken aspirin, what next? You still have to keep your body in the best possible position to survive the next few minutes before help arrives. Tip 4, sit down, don't lie down, and stay calm. Most people assume lying down is the best thing to do, but when you're having a heart attack, lying flat can actually reduce oxygen flow and strain your heart even more, especially if you're short of breath. So what's the best position? Sit upright with your back supported. A firm chair or the edge of a bed with pillows behind your back works well. Try to keep your knees bent slightly and feet on the ground. This position helps reduce pressure on your heart, improve lung capacity so you can breathe more easily. Keep your airway open in case you feel nauseous. Now comes a difficult but important task. Try to slow your breathing. Many people start to panic during a heart attack. Panic leads to fast, shallow breaths, which lowers oxygen levels and puts more stress on your already struggling heart. Instead, take slow, deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Count to 4 as you inhale, hold for a second, then exhale slowly. Do this several times. Even just 3 or 4 calm breaths can help reduce your heart's demand for oxygen. And most importantly, don't try to walk around the house or tough it out. People have collapsed trying to reach a bathroom or go unlock the front door. If you're able, unlock the door before sitting down so paramedics can enter easily. Otherwise, just stay seated and breathe. Now, while you're waiting, you may be wondering, is there anything else I can do to help my heart function until help arrives? That's where tip 5 comes in, and it's a little-known action that could literally give your heart a fighting chance if it begins to flutter or slow down. Tip 5, use cough CPR, but only in certain conditions. You may have heard of cough CPR. It's a controversial and widely misunderstood technique. Let's clear that up right now. Cough CPR is not meant to replace real CPR. It's not for someone who is unconscious. And it's not a guaranteed lifesaver, but in very specific cases, it might help you stay conscious long enough for help to arrive. If you feel your heart beginning to flutter, or you're about to faint, but you're still awake. Some doctors suggest a technique like this. Take a deep breath. Cough forcefully like you're trying to clear something stuck in your throat. Repeat this process every few seconds. This action may help maintain blood flow by forcing the chest to contract and increase circulation. It can also create a rhythmic, pulse-like motion in your chest. However, and this is important, only use this if you are fully conscious and feel faint, not if you're in full cardiac arrest or unconscious. And always call emergency services first. Cough CPR is not a substitute for medical help. Some cardiologists say it might buy you a few precious seconds. But again, ask your doctor during your next visit if it's safe or recommended in your case. Now we've covered the emergency response actions. But what if we told you that survival doesn't begin during the heart attack, it begins long before it ever happens? In the next segment, we'll talk about simple daily habits and preparation steps that can give you the upper hand before the heart attack even strikes. Preparation is survival, small habits that save lives. The best time to survive a heart attack is before it even happens. That might sound strange, but here's what we mean. Preparedness is everything. If you wait until you are in the middle of a medical crisis to make decisions, you're already behind. But by building simple habits into your daily routine, you create a system that can help save your life, even if you're unconscious or unable to speak. Let's dive into tip 6, one of the most overlooked life-saving strategies for seniors. Tip 6, create a heart emergency kit and keep it visible. Think about it. If you were to suddenly collapse from chest pain or feel faint, would a paramedic or even a neighbor know your health history, your medications, your allergies? That's where your heart emergency kit comes in. It's not complicated. In fact, it's just one small folder or pouch that contains everything a first responder or emergency doctor would need in those first critical minutes. Here's what it should include. A one-page medical summary. Include your name, age, address, emergency contacts, blood type, allergies, current medications, and known health conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or atrial fibrillation. Doctor's contact info, primary care doctor, cardiologist, or any specialists you regularly see. List of all medications, include dosages and times you take them. Copies of insurance cards and ID. This makes check-in and hospital communication much smoother. A few aspirin tablets. As discussed earlier, chewable 325 milligrams is best. Any do not resuscitate or advanced care directives, if you have them, make sure they're clearly labeled. Now here's the most important part. Don't tuck this kit away in a drawer. Keep it in a clearly labeled, easy-to-reach place. Many people stick it to the refrigerator door, a common spot that paramedics know to check. Others keep one near the entrance or by their bedside. Even better, print a label on the outside that says, Emergency, medical info inside. If you live alone, let a trusted neighbor or friend know where this folder is. Seconds matter. The fewer questions first responders have to ask, the faster they can treat you correctly. But this isn't just about emergencies. This kind of preparation gives you peace of mind. It removes panic from the equation. You know you've already taken the steps to give yourself a fighting chance. Now, let's look at the daily habits you can follow to strengthen your heart and help prevent an attack in the first place. Heart-healthy habits to build into your life without overwhelm. We're not going to tell you to run 5 miles a day or live on raw kale. Instead, let's talk about sustainable habits that protect your heart over time, especially for those over 60. First, hydrate properly every day. Dehydration thickens the blood, making it harder for your heart to pump. Many seniors don't feel thirsty, even when they're low on fluids. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water a day unless your doctor restricts your intake due to kidney or heart conditions. Second, walk, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Movement keeps blood circulating. A brisk walk around your living room, down the hall, or around your building lowers blood pressure, improves cholesterol, and helps prevent clots. Third, monitor your blood pressure and pulse weekly. Invest in a home blood pressure monitor. High blood pressure is a leading cause of heart attacks, and it often shows no symptoms. By checking regularly, you can alert your doctor early to any changes. Fourth, practice deep breathing or meditation. Stress and anxiety can trigger heart problems. Spend just 5 minutes a day doing deep breathing exercises, guided meditation, or even gentle stretching. It trains your body to stay calm under stress, exactly what you need if a heart attack ever occurs. Fifth, eat for your heart, not the clock. What you eat is more important than when. Include these heart-friendly foods in your daily meals. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, berries, especially blueberries, walnuts and almonds unsalted, oats and whole grains, olive oil, beans and lentils. Avoid too much salt, processed food, or sugar, even if you're not overweight. Your heart's health is about more than your size. Sixth, know your cholesterol and triglyceride levels. At least once a year, get a blood test to check your lipid profile. High LDL or high triglycerides increase your heart attack risk. If your numbers are too high, your doctor may recommend diet changes or medications. These are not extra tasks. They are your shield against the silent threat of heart disease. When practiced consistently, they strengthen your chances of survival, even if a heart attack hits unexpectedly. But here's something few people talk about. Your brain can also protect your heart. That's what we're covering in the next segment. How your brain can help you survive a heart attack alone. We often talk about the heart and the brain as if they are separate systems. But they're not. In a crisis like a heart attack, your brain becomes one of your most critical life-saving tools. When you're over 60 and alone, it's not just your heart's strength that keeps you alive. It's your ability to stay conscious, calm, and mentally present long enough to activate what you've prepared for. This is where Tip 7 becomes your secret weapon. Tip 7. Train your brain to respond, not react. When most people experience chest pain or sudden weakness, their first response is panic. That's a natural human reaction. Your brain floods with adrenaline. You breathe faster, your thoughts race. You may feel like you're about to die. In fact, the fear itself can accelerate the attack. But there's a difference between reacting to fear and responding with control. The secret? Mental rehearsal and response training. It's like emergency training for your brain. Here's how it works. Start rehearsing what-if scenarios in your mind. Tell yourself, if I feel chest pressure, I will immediately reach for my phone and call 911. If I feel dizzy and sweaty, I will chew an aspirin and sit upright. I know where my emergency kit is. I know what to say to the dispatcher. Say it out loud. Practice it once a month. Walk through it like a fire drill. Why? Because the brain remembers patterns, especially those practiced under calm conditions. Repetition builds confidence. Confidence builds clarity. And clarity saves lives when panic strikes. You're not inviting the problem, you're preparing your brain to stay calm if it ever happens. And here's the science. Studies in neuroscience show that mental rehearsals can train the amygdala, the part of your brain that triggers fear, to stay regulated during emergencies. When your brain is prepared, your heart rate stays steadier, blood pressure stabilizes, and oxygen levels improve. Now let's take it one step further. Start your day with a 2-minute visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine feeling the early signs of a heart attack: discomfort, dizziness, shortness of breath. Then imagine yourself reaching for the phone, calling for help, chewing the aspirin, and calmly breathing as you sit upright. You feel the ambulance arriving. You stay awake. You make it. That might sound simple, but it wires your brain for survival. You're creating a rescue map inside your mind. And in a real event, your brain is more likely to follow that map instead of freezing in fear. But there's another angle to this. Mental strength doesn't just help you during the attack, it helps with recovery too. Seniors who survive heart attacks often battle depression, fear, and anxiety afterward. But those who had mentally rehearsed and prepared themselves tend to recover faster, both emotionally and physically, because they feel they were active participants in their own survival. That confidence can be healing in itself. Now there's one final element we need to address, and it's something almost no one talks about when discussing surviving heart attacks. It's not a pill, it's not a device, it's your environment. In the final segment, we'll show you how to arrange your living space, technology, and daily routines to increase your chances of surviving alone, without relying on luck. Your home is your lifeline, designing an emergency-proof environment. Most people think of emergencies as something that only needs a fast response. But what if you could design your space so that it actually supports you through a heart attack, especially if you're alone? Think about it. If you collapse or become too weak to move, your surroundings could either save your life or cost you time you can't afford to lose. Let's walk through key upgrades and environment-based strategies that every senior should make a part of their home setup. Optimize your space for quick access. The first rule of emergency setup: everything you might need must be reachable within 10 steps, or ideally from your seat. Here's how to set it up. Keep your phone charged and always nearby. Use a waist pouch, neck sling, or attach a magnetic phone holder near your favorite chair and bedside. Don't rely on memory, make it habit. Install a landline phone in your living room and bedroom. If cell service drops or your phone is out of battery, the landline becomes your emergency link. Place emergency supplies strategically. That includes aspirin tablets, water bottles, medical ID card or emergency folder, list of emergency contacts, flashlight if a power outage strikes at night, a whistle or personal alarm. Use smart home tech wisely. Devices like Alexa, Google Home, or emergency alert buttons can be voice activated. Set up routines like, "Alexa, I need help," to trigger a call or message to a neighbor or family member. Unlock your door remotely. If you live alone and become unresponsive after calling 911, paramedics may be delayed trying to enter. Invest in a smart lock system with emergency access or give a trusted neighbor a key. Use visual reminders and emergency labels. In a moment of panic, your mind might not work clearly. That's why visual cues are so powerful. Place a "what to do if I have chest pain" guide on the fridge beside your bed or near your chair. Use large, clear fonts and bullet points. Label your emergency folder clearly. Emergency medical info, open immediately. Put reflective tape or glow-in-the-dark stickers near your door lock, aspirin drawer, or medication cabinet for night visibility. Simplify your daily living layout. If you do experience a heart attack, moving more than a few steps might be nearly impossible. That's why clutter-free, minimal movement design is essential. Clear walking paths. Remove rugs, cords, or objects that could trip you. Keep furniture low and sturdy. You may need to lean on or stabilize yourself. Position essentials at mid-height. Avoid storing things in high cabinets or bottom drawers. Store water, meds, and clothes between waist and shoulder level. Keep night lights on. Motion sensor lights in hallways, bedrooms, and bathrooms can prevent disorientation during emergencies at night. Technology that could save you. Technology has come a long way, and some devices are practically made for senior heart safety. Wearable medical alerts, devices like Life Alert, Medical Guardian, or Apple Watch, with fall detection and heart monitoring, can notify emergency services if something goes wrong, even if you're unconscious. ECG monitoring devices, portable devices like Cardiomobile, allow you to take a quick ECG reading if you're feeling strange symptoms, and send it to your doctor instantly. Smartphone ICE, in case of emergency, info. Most phones allow you to enter medical information that's visible even when your phone is locked. Fill this out now and make sure it's updated. Bluetooth smart pill dispensers, these remind you to take heart medication on time, and alert caregivers if you miss a dose. These tools can't stop a heart attack, but they can drastically improve your response time, medical accuracy, and recovery odds.